Lydia Thorpe, after celebrating the arson of Old Parliament House, refusing to acknowledge Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and throwing several tantrums in the Senate, the Greens Senator Lydia Thorpe has outdone herself yet again. As reported today, Thorpe has admitted to having an undisclosed relationship with ex-Rebels President Dean Martin, and unsurprisingly, the relationship created a serious conflict of interest. You see, while Thorpe was sitting on the Joint Parliamentary Law Enforcement Committee, which was receiving confidential briefings about bikie gangs, Thorpe briefly outdated the ex-president of the Rebels bikie gang in Victoria, Dean Martin. According to Thorpe, quote, "We met through black activism and briefly dated in early 2021. By the way, for some reason, these activists spell B-L-A-C-K, black, as B-L-A-K. So they add illiteracy to their CV. Anyway, Thorpe continued, "We remain friends and have collaborated on our shared interests, advocating for the rights of First Nations peoples." And yes, what a role model for Australia's young Indigenous boys and girls, an ex-Rebels bikie leader. Believe it or not, the situation only gets worse for Loopy Lidia. When Senator Thorpe's staff learned of her relationship with Dean Martin, they urged her to disclose it to the Greens leader Adam Bandt. However, Thorpe didn't tell Bandt about it. In fact, reports today suggest that Thorpe's chief of staff asked another staffer not to tell Bandt. It turns out Bandt only found out about the relationship when the ABC started asking questions, so well done to the ABC. But who's dobbed Thorpe in? Well, unsurprisingly, Thorpe is in more trouble than Flash Gordon, and she has resigned. That is, if you knew she was deputy leader of the Greens. She's resigned the deputy leadership in the Senate. 3 integrity experts, barristers Brett Walker SC, Geoffrey Watson SC, and former New South Wales Supreme Court Justice Anthony Wheely KC, have all said Thorpe's failure to disclose her involvement with Martin is of concern. Mr Watson, a former ICAC senior counsel, said, quote, "The fact that members of the Senator's staff recognised the risk shows just how serious it was. The fact that those concerns were rebuffed is a concern." Mr Watson is, of course, right. Reports suggest one of Thorpe's staffers said, "My advice to the Senator was that she must speak to the leader's office, that she is at extreme risk of being extorted," unquote. Well done to that staffer. He or she is right. But it is reported that Thorpe and Martin even met for discussions in Thorpe's electorate office. Now, by any definition, this is a scandal. Questions should be asked, actually, whether she's entitled to remain in the Parliament. Not only has Thorpe acted like a total clown in the Senate, but now she's hidden a relationship with an ex-bikie leader while sitting on a committee which was investigating motorcycle gangs trading illicit drugs online. But we're partly to blame. How dumb are we voters sometimes? We voted for Lydia Thorpe. Well, I didn't, but some people voted for Lydia Thorpe. And if you did, this is what you get.